sorry it's been a minute since I've uploaded a video. Christmas time with the business was crazy. I didn't really anticipate that. Well, I anticipated an increase in sales, but it was quite high. So I was always on the ball and then just had some things going on. So really didn't get a chance to do videos like I wanted to. But I figured the first video back for the new year for 2024, we would do a video of something that is pretty rampant, at least for Xbox 360. And we're not talking about the Red Ring of Death. Uh Disc tray sticking. So let's turn this one on. And so this is something that usually happens to these consoles a lot. The tray just starts to stick, and it's actually a really simple fix. So I'm just going to show you how to actually fix it. We're not doing any roundabout things. It's actually fixing the problem so you don't have it anymore. Super cheap fix. It's less than $1. Really, I mean, not counting like some tools that you will need. I do have these, which these are specialized tools to open these up really quick because I open a lot of these. So obviously it makes sense for me to invest in something like this. Really, it makes sense even if it's just you and it's just your Xbox 360 because they're only like 10 bucks. I'll put the link on Amazon, or I'll put the link in the description for Amazon for these. If you don't have that, then you'll just need something with a point because you'll have to stick in the back, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. But yeah, so you have this, you go to open it, and that's it. You can see it's trying to open, but it's never going to open. Um, there's little things people will do, like if your disc was stuck in here, like some people will push the button and then you just slap it. So you hit it and it'll open. I'll explain why that actually works, but of course you don't want to be slapping your Xbox every time that you want to open that tray. So right now it doesn't have a game in it. We're going to put Gears 2 in it. Let's see if it'll actually read this. This disc isn't in the best condition, but I think it's still readable. Let's see what happens. It's spinning. Sounds good. Sounds like it's doing something. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's not going to read the disc. Oh, something's happening. There it is. Ah, good old consoles. They get real loud when they got to do anything. It's always a good sign. But yeah, so we got Gears. So it actually reads discs. That's good. So let's go ahead. We'll jump back to the home screen because I don't need to actually play the game. Just actually it reading discs is good enough. Uh, but yeah, so now it may open up because a lot of times if you leave a disc in there, if you're having issues with your tray opening and closing, sometimes the weight of the disc can be enough to help it. And again, I'll explain that in depth when we actually get inside the disk drive as to what's going on and why that helps. But let's see. Okay, so this one will open if a disc is in it. So we'll take the disc out, we'll close it, and then we'll go reopen it. And now you see it's stuck again. So again, all right, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to take all this down, and I'm going to show you how to open it up real quick. It's not going to be too in depth for the opening, but I will show you some little tips, and then we'll crack into this thing, open up the disk drive, and show you how you actually fix this. So back in a second. All right, so we're back. We'll go ahead and start with taking off your external hard drive, or your hard drive. Not, I guess it's technically external, it's on the outside, but you just push the button in, lift up from the front. Come on, there we go. It comes right out. We'll set that to the side. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to take their hard drive off, so I don't think you have to be too in depth there. The next thing you want to take off is this front cover. Basically it just peels off, so just get your fingers down in there, break it away, then come to the other side, and it just pops off. There's nothing holding it on the back, so you take that off, set it to the side. The next thing you want to do is start removing these plastic pieces. Make sure you take the front cover off before you move these plastic pieces, or you will break them, like whoever tried to get in here did. Uh, because these plastic pieces, like they have little hooks right there that go into, that grabs the corners of this. So that's why you'll have trouble getting this out if you don't take the front cover off. Especially right there, those are two hooks as well. So basically, once you get those off, you can kind of just get you something. I'll use this. But what you want to do is, it's going to be hard, but there's like a little gray piece like right there, and you just push it, and that one basically is like the little legs. I'll show you the legs once I take them out, but it's going to be one down here, and you're just looking in these holes and you'll see the little gray piece. So another one about here, then you're going to have the third and last one back here, And you just do the same thing on the other side as well. So let's see. We'll start there. We'll just push it. And then we'll go to the next one, which is there. You push it. And go to the last one, which is there. And you push it. And see, they come right up. So you don't have to pull on them. You don't really have to do, much. But just get it. Let's see, where is it at? There it is. There's one. Oh, that second one came up kind of smooth by itself. And there we go. See? Comes off super easy. You can see this one is really dirty. I mean, it pretty much gave it away from the outside. So same thing here. You want to start from this point. And this part, you kind of can just look in there and you just want to kind of finagle this one up. It's always a little difficult to get this one started. It's going to be a little harder for me because the people broke it. And that makes it more difficult to actually get a little bit of feedback on there. But one thing you can do is it's going to be hard to show you on camera, but it's a little hole right here. If you can put something in there, you'll see the little gray piece, and you basically just want to put it in there. You just want to pull away from it, and there it just unclicks. So that's just a quick way to get that off. That's the way you're supposed to get those off. And that's why you don't break it. But same thing we did on this side. You're just looking for the little legs. There's one there. You just push, and she'll pop right out. Let's see. All right, there. Come on. Hopefully they didn't break it, because normally it just comes right up. Okay, there we go. We got one down there. There we go. We'll get the other side now. Flip it over. It is right there. And then we have the last one down here. Boom. And that comes right out. So these two legs are the ones I'm talking about. You can tell. See, they were definitely digging at that one, trying to get it off, and they probably were doing it before they took off the faceplate, which is, it's just not going to work. You're going to end up breaking it. But basically, when those clamp down in there, you're just going through this little alleyway, like literally like right through here, and you just want to get in behind it like that, and you just push it away from the clip that's on the case. That's how you get that out of there. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so now the other part you want to start with is you want to cut this sticker, because this sticker is going to hold this little piece on right here, that little clamp. So let's see, do we have anything I can cut it with? No, so we're just going to try to peel it off as best we can. There we go. I'll just cut it with this. But yeah, you basically just want to get through that sticker. That's the it's basically just a warranty sticker to let anyone know that, hey, somebody's been inside this thing. Somebody tried to get inside here, but I don't think they ever actually made it in, because that sticker is still intact. But you can tell they tried, because they've been digging in these holes. You can see how ate up it is right there. So now that we took that off, the next thing we want to do is we want to come back here. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slits on this side. Each slit is a clip. So basically what you want to do is you want to take something, you want to poke it in there, and you just push. Hopefully you heard that. But that disengages a clip. Same thing here. You just push in, disengages a clip, and you're just kind of going all the way through. Now the problem with this is it makes it a lot more difficult, because you're not pushing them all at the same time. That is where this comes in at, because you see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you push them all at once. So it's a pain to do it without this. I'll show you how simple it is to do with this. Just flip it around. You see this little piece? You just make sure that's on the outside of it. So and slide that in. They're all in, and then this is the piece for the other side. So you just basically line that up for those two, push it in. Excuse me. 1, see, push that in, 2, and she's already open. So that is why I say invest in these. If you're gonna open it, they're only 10 bucks. It's gonna save you so much time, and it'll stop you from accidentally possibly breaking yours. So what you want to do is, after you get that open, there's also like little clips right here in the middle. So make sure you push on that if you're having a hard time. You want to flip this down. you want the HDMI port to be facing up, because this top part is the first one that comes up. So you can see it's loose back here. You know, there's nothing holding it back there, but now you want to come to the front, and that's why you had to rip that sticker. So basically, you just want to peel these down like so. You got a one here on the edge. You want to peel that away. You'll see the little hooks. And all you're trying to do, lift it up a little bit, like after you take that away. Because basically what you want to do is you don't want them to reseal after you get them off. There we go. There's one. There's two. And then there's three. Then that lifts right up and away. Kind of dirty. Not too bad. All right. So now we pretty much are almost in the home stretch of what we need to take off to get to this. You will need to cut this little strip right here, because that strip holds the it holds the disc tray in. Not really. Bolts, these bolts right here actually hold it in. One, two, no, 1, 2, 3, and 4 actually hold it in. But this is like a little tamper, I guess tamper tape or something. So these ones are going to be a T10. And the way you can tell which ones take off the chassis, because right now, well, the cover, right now we want to remove this. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if I counted that one. Should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those 6 bolts hold on this other white cover. Now, if you need a quick tip or a quick like thing to catch your eye to know what bolts to take out, they're going to be the ones with the head is going to be flat. All of these silver ones are going to be T10s, and these 8 in the middle, these black ones, are going to be T8s. And though that is only if you're trying to take off the heat sinks to get to the chip and re-thermal paste it, which we're not doing in this video. Maybe I'll do another video on that, but this is just to fix the disc tray. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start taking these out, and boom. A lot of times when I use these, people be like, oh, you're going to strip the bolts or stuff. The first thing you do is you always break it first with just manual power. That way you don't have to worry about it stripping. If you just try to, you know, let the little battery motor, powered motor, whatever you want to call it, if you try to let that do all the work, yeah, you could possibly strip your screw. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Nothing wrong with using these, just got to use them right. I guess that goes for everything. But we have those 6 screws out now. So first thing we can do is we want to flip this over. Just make sure you hold the top when you're flipping it. Now, if you feel like you're like, hey, this thing's gripping, it's because of these silver like clamps or trays. These just pull up. So if you feel any friction, that's why, but it should come right up. See what I'm saying? So you just might have to do that. The next thing you want to look for is right here on this eject button. So you can see it like kind of hooks in. Basically what you want to do, you just want to pull it away. Just pull it away like that. And then you can lift right up. If you don't do that, it sits right here in that slit. That's what's going to be holding it. You'll end up breaking that button. So just remember that part. We'll sit that to the side. Now, the only thing left to do is to pull out this disc tray. But first, now be careful with this, because we took the screws out that's holding it to the chassis. So, but you want to take out these 2 wires back here. And you also want to pull this out of that hole so that you can lift up the disc tray. I usually lift the disc tray first, and then I pull out the wires afterwards. So let's get these wires out. 1 and 2. And after that, you are pretty much done with this. So we can sit this down off to the side. So now the next thing you want to do is you want to take off the cover of this. So flip it over. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are just Phillips screws. So any old Phillips screwdriver will work. I have just my attachment right here to make it quick. And you're also going to have to cut your void if damaged sticker right here. They put these pretty much everywhere. So you just take these 4 off. Boom. 1. You don't have to worry about anything like falling out or anything when you take these covers off right here. That's one good thing. So if you're worried about that, don't be. There's nothing that's going to just fall out on you. You don't have to worry about messing up the disk drive or like the laser or any of that type of stuff. They're all secure in there even without the covers. So, okay, so we take those off and you just want to slide this tray up. There you go. I like to pull in like right underneath those where those bolts went, right underneath the piece. It's going to feel like it has friction. You just have to keep doing it until you wiggle it up. Also, watch that. Slide it back. There you go. So that's off. This is the bottom of the actual disc tray assembly. You have your motor back here, just running your gears. That's what's causing your tray to come in and out. This is your board. Your board is actually the one that communicates with the main board, or the main board down there, that tells it there's a disk in it, allows it to read it, stuff like that. This board is married to your main board. So if you was ever to replace the whole disk drive, if it wasn't reading disks, you have to make sure that you keep this board, because if you try to put a different board in here, that Xbox 360 will not read it and it's just not going to work. So make sure you keep the board. You just swap it. The only thing you want to take out is the actual laser assembly right in there. Maybe we'll do another video on that when I get one that's actually broke. Super simple fix. Like it's really easy. But just be mindful of that. So we're going to turn this back over like so. And now what we're going to do is take off the top. Same thing with the top. You kind of just want to wiggle it up. There's nothing actually holding it, but it just doesn't like to glide up over this black plastic piece sometimes. Okay. And now we're going to get into a quick discussion of why those things at the beginning were happening. This right here is nothing but a magnet. That's all this is at the top. So when your tray tries to go out, this and this makes a magnetic bond. What happens over time is matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull this out first. So first thing you want to do, look right there. There's a little piece. You just take your thumb, push it over. That's all you have to do. What that will do is that will lower the tray assembly, the laser and stuff. It lowers down, and it also will bump this out a little bit. And if you look in here, you'll see a little wheel. That wheel you want to turn clockwise. If it's facing you, get something on there. I usually use, something like this. You just rotate it clockwise a few times. You'll see it'll just slowly be moving the disk tray out. See how the disk tray is moving up? You just keep going that way till you get it out a little ways. And then you can pull the disk tray yourself. Okay, so back to what I was talking about, and I wanted to be able to show you the whole thing. That's why you can see this one is pretty filthy. But yeah, so we have the magnet. What happens is when the tray comes in, this thing, that's why you hear that clunk, like that sound, is this making a magnetic bond with your spinner, your spindle, whatever you want to call it. What happens over time is this rubber band right here, or your disk drive belt, whatever you want to call it. I just call it rubber band. It just loses its strength. So it doesn't grip as tight around these pulleys anymore, and it loses the torque. So when the motor is driving this pulley over here, the rubber band just isn't holding tight enough to provide the torque to break this bond. So basically, the magnetic bond doesn't break and the disc tray can't come out. That's why when you have a disc in here, like so, this disc applies downward force and it kind of weighs it down, and it makes it a little harder for that to keep the bond with that. Not really hard, of course, but it does add a little extra assistive weight. And that's why sometimes if the rubber band is still got some strength to it, just the weight of a disc in there will allow it to open and close. But when you take that disc out and close it, then you can't get it open anymore. Again, that's why the slap helps. The slap is just sending vibrations through, shaking that bond, and then hopefully with the torque of the motor plus that little vibration, it helps break the bond. That's all that's happening. So that's why you're having the issue. It's really not because it's super dirty, even though this one's super dirty. Usually that's literally just it. It's just the rubber band. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab matter of fact, I'm gonna grab a smaller one because this is like my dust brush. And we're going to just dust this out some. So try not to dust over the actual laser itself. You know, you can blow with some compressed air or something if you want. This is just to show you guys how to change it. I'm not going through all the steps of like making this spotless. I just want to clean around the assembly some. So once you get that, the only thing you do is you just reach in there with your finger, or you know, anything you got. If you want your little pointer thing, all you're doing is just pulling that rubber band off. So you just grab it, pull it from around there, boom, there's your old rubber band. Now this thing is going to be like, see, see how that is? It's going to be super loose now, because as you can see, those things are spinning. But this is the motor. This is the pulley from the motor that drives these when the rubber band is on it. So you can see it's flowing easy. It's nothing wrong with the actual tray itself. It's not dirty or sticky. It's just the rubber band went bad. So we're going to grab another rubber band. Funny enough, I just use regular old hair rubber bands, just small little rubber bands for your hair or for whoever's hair, I guess. And yeah, that fixes it. You can buy the, like, I guess, official drive belts if you want. They're a little more expensive. Like I got 500 of those for $1. Uh, you can buy the drive belt itself. You'll get like maybe around 3 or so for maybe for like 7 to 10 bucks. So you do the math. I use these all the time. One of the Xbox I have around here I fix is actually my test Xbox for the games that I resurface, and it's been about 4 to 5 months, and I have no issues. It opens and closes perfectly. And I probably open and close that more than anyone who has an Xbox 360 to actually play it, because I have to test games all the time. So now all you're doing is basically, if you look into the pulleys, you'll see that there's grooves. So you're just basically putting your rubber band around the grooves. I always start with the small pulley. That's for the motor. And you just slide it in there. Boom. Now we got the new rubber band on. That's it. You just replace the rubber band. So you just push your tray back. Boom. You see the assembly, it raises back up. And then that's about it. Now we can start putting everything back together. So we will slide this on. I don't think I'm doing that right. No, I'm not. So we will slide this back into here. One thing you want to notice is that these, I always forget which way these are supposed to go. Okay, so you got the holes right there. Make sure those line up with that. But yeah, so basically you just try to line it up and get them to slide in there. This one's always a little pain point. There you go. And there it is. Okay. Did I get it? Okay. See, this part, make sure you lift it back because it will get in the way. Yeah, let's see. Did I get this right? Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't get this right at all. So let's lift this back out. Oh, so I did have it right. I guess I just had to flip it this way. I thought it went on this way. Okay, so that one just goes on the top like that. Boom. It's always something. Every time I do a video, I always do it. So obviously it's not screwed in, so hold it, flip it over. And now all we do is come back with this and put this down on it. Get your two slits back here so you know that goes there. Now, again, make sure you move this out the way. So when you're sitting it down on it, you could just line it up. There's some grooves that go along these, and of course, you know, where your screws go. So you just keep moving around till you get it to sit. There it is. It'll fall down in there. All right. So now we just put our bolts back in and put everything back the way you did it, and you'll be done. So these, put that in. Boom. Boom. And boom. Oh, and boom. Okay, so that's done. We've just prepared our dish tray. Let's bring our, so we can take this out now because we're not going to need a Phillips anymore. Put our P10 back in there. Grab this. Move your cables out the way. And all you're doing, you're just sliding this right back in. But again, remember this little point. It has to go back in this little hole back here. Because this right here, let me see if I can show you. That right there is your actual eject button. that little arm is clicking each time. So basically just plug these back up. See, that's one. Plug this in. That's two. Make sure you pull the arm out so you can get over that little hump. She sets right down, and then the arm goes right back in there. There we go. Now, first thing we want to do is want to grab our little what you call it here. What do you call it? I don't know what you call it. I can't even think. But you got your grill back here. That's obviously where your fan is going. I believe. I believe that's obviously right. Yeah, that's right. All right, so this should sit down right on the top of it like so. Just watch for the sides. These have to go over this part, so these little things sometimes will catch. Just make sure they go down and over. Same thing here. You want to pull that eject button back just like you did when you took it off. There you go. Usually it falls right in between them, which that one did. You'll hear it kind of like click. And there we go. That's that. So then we flip it over, hold it, because obviously there's no screws in it yet. And we put our screws back. Pretty easy to know where they go because you put them back where the holes are. But if you don't remember, there's 1, 2, 3. One here, one there, and one there. So like I said, it's a very quick process. Especially if, you know, if you weren't doing, oh shoot, if you weren't doing like a tutorial like I'm doing, yeah, I could have knocked this out probably in 5 minutes. Now it's increased time if, of course, if I was doing a deep clean of it. But right here, this is not one of those times. Now I'm just basically showing you how to replace the disk drive. So we have that. Next thing you want to do is you want to grab your case and you put this right on top. You'll see how it lines up. Make sure this is going over your power button right here. You just slide that right back down. Everything is lined up. And you should be able to just push. They'll start clicking. Make sure you push here in the back as well. There we go. Clip, clip. Good, good, good. You check around the front again. You can see this one was a little off. So you just make sure you get that nice and clamped on there. Same thing here. Good clamp, clamp. And there we go. So we're all good to go. Now, first thing you want to start doing, putting your sides back on. Doesn't really matter what side you go to first. We can put this one on first. This is where your hard drive is going to go. Just match that slit up with the hard drive part. And just push that down. Boom. There we go. You're just pushing that in. Again, you want to make sure you put your sides on before you put your front plate on. This one basically is, you see these two hooks? The other side will have like these two little things. This side will have these. And these go into the front. So basically, because that's what's going to be in your, that's what's hooking onto your front plate. So just push that down like so. Clamp, clamp, clamp. And you take your front plate and you just throw that back on. That does nothing but just presses back into place. Like so. Everything is good. You check, make sure everything is lined up the way you want it. Okay, so we'll sit this here. Let me grab my test monitor. I'm gonna do everything without a cut, just so that everyone knows, like, hey, this was legit. Let's see, let's plug it back up. Boom, grab our HDMI cable. Boom, grab my controller. And, oh, put on your hard drive. Come on here. Really? Oh. I get down to this part. Like I said, it's always something, right? There we go. Go in there. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that wanted to be a pain, but now just turn it on. Yay! It came on. I don't know if sometimes my monitor wakes up on its own when you give it power or from like a source. Let's see. Is it gonna wake up on its own? It did. Good. Okay, so we will wait. Even though you can open the tray whenever you want. I just like to wait. But now you should be able to hit the button. She opens right up. No problem. You close it. No problem. You open it. It'll open back up every time. Doesn't matter whether it's standing. Oh, I guess I should have said that before. And we'll do it now because it doesn't have a I don't know if this is gonna work just because of so if your console was standing up, like you know how you have it vertical, whether you have a disc in it or not, if you're having a tray sticking issue, the disc is not going to help it open up because since it's standing vertical, the disc is applying pressure this way and the magnetic bond is this way. So in your tray is opening like this. See what I'm saying? But the weight of the disc is going down. It doesn't give the same effect because it's not weighing the tray down. Like the tray would have to be weighed down that way. And since the weight is going this way, it doesn't help as much. So that's why if you stand yours vertical and even with a disc in, you're like, mine still won't open. That's why. Anytime you start having a disc stick issue, you need to lay it down flat, horizontal. Then a disc in it or slapping it will help you open it up. So, but yeah, that's it. I guess we can see if it reads the game. You know what I'm gonna do? I want to turn off the disc auto start. Let me see. I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to find it. Autoplay. Disable. I hate autoplay when I'm doing tests because I don't need the game to start. I just need it to run. You know what? We'll close it with this. But yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's all it is to it. Like I said, I got 500 of those rubber bands for $1 from Dollar General. Like that's literally all you need. It doesn't take much at all. And there you go. Play game. So it read the game perfectly. Play Gears of War 2. And you could eject this if you want it. You eject it, she's gonna come right back out. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helps people. And this is how you actually fix the problem. It's no band-aids, none of that stuff. That's how you actually fix the problem where you don't have it again. As always, thanks for the support on the channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.